The Kart Planet venue in Buja hosted round 2 of the season for the FIM European Supermoto Junior Championship, the stepping stone to S1 GP. Let's meet the young stars.
Ci troviamo alla seconda tappa di Buja.
We are at the second round of the SM Junior category in Buja. It's a very technical track and it's more difficult for us little ones because there are big jumps that are difficult to tackle. My bike is a TM 85cc prepared for the race with altered suspension, and my great rival is Andrea Benvenuti. In the first round at Albaida in Spain, I didn't do very well. The track was more difficult. I finished in 5th position.
E sono arrivato quinto.
The championship started quite well in Spain. I took home a 3rd place, and now we are here for the second round at Buja. I've done a few laps and I feel quite good. My main opponents are Andrea Benvenuti and Yevsevy Kovalov. I run with a 2023 KTM 85cc. I feel very good with the setup, even with the tyres, and therefore I hope to get to 1st place here to move up in the overall championship.
Risalire un po' in campionato.
The Buja layout certainly presents its challenges for the youngsters on these 85cc bikes. Let's take a look with the rider the other competitors' minds are on, Andrea Benvenuti. Onto the start-finish line then. Obviously these are just 85cc bikes, a lot less power than the S1 machines. Momentum is so critical on these bikes. Into the Sky section we go now with Benvenuti. Nice shallow entry. Got to almost clip your knee on that high banking going into the Sky section. Now riding the berms, launching out onto the waves. Back onto the regular circuit. A lot of rubber laid down this weekend between S1, S4 and these juniors. Great overtaking opportunity here at the hairpin. Quite an open hairpin, but you can still make moves. Onto the back straight. A good run onto this straight is critical on these machines. Nice flick to the right into the left-hander where you can make a big dive if you're so inclined. We don't use the banking here for the juniors, so we bypass that and head towards the final section. More good overtaking opportunities. Nice flowing section here where the riders really tap into their road racing skills. Some of them, for example, Kovalov, have got experience in road racing as well. Benvenuti is our defending Supermoto Junior champion. He really loves this circuit. So then race 1 of the weekend, and it's Benvenuti on pole position, Tereneo and Kovalyov on row 1 with him, Konolti, Lapadula and Bereski on row 2. Then it's Bang, PIEMONTE and Marina on row 3. Erzik rounding out the 10, starting the race. Race 1 began with a great start from pole sitter Andrea Benvenuti. He led into the first corner with Daniele Konolti launching impressively from row 2 to hold an early 2nd place. Kovalyov on the number 7 held 3rd ahead of Nathan Taranio. Kovalyov was working hard from 3rd place to keep the top 2 in his sights, but by the end of lap 1, it looked like there was a slight pace advantage for Benvenuti and Konolti, 2 Italian youngsters leading the way. Benvenuti, the reigning junior champion on his MTR KTM, was certainly under pressure from the Gas rider behind, but the young man in orange is hard to unsettle, as seen in his nail-biting path to championship honours last year. The 2023 season ended in a tiebreaker that went Benvenuti's way. Behind the top 2, Kovalyov continued to set a good pace ahead of the number 111, the 111 of Taraneo, the Swiss racer. Kovalyov, the Ukrainian, is an ambitious up-and-comer. He raced in last year's FIM Mini GP World Series on the road racing side of the coin. All signs pointed to status quo at the sharp end of the pack as Benvenuti managed to race wonderfully at the front. He stayed out of overtaking range despite the best efforts of Canolti behind. MTR KTM is a team that knows how to develop young talent, and Benvenuti is one the team is incredibly excited to have on their roster. Controlled the race from the front, never lost that lead on any occasion. He secured the victory in race 1 of the weekend, and that further extended the championship lead that he established last time out in Spain in Albaida. Buja, race 1, firmly the domain of this man on the 263. A victory for Benvenuti.
I'm so happy with this race. I have a good start and I win with a second of advantage, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
A 1-2 for the Italians on home turf at Buja, much to the delight of the home crowd and the riders' teams. Kovalyov, Taraneo and Bereski rounding out the top 5 in our first race of the weekend. There's a dedicated Supermoto fan base here in the surrounding areas of Buja, and perhaps some of the youngsters in the paddock will look towards the junior field and wonder if they can one day go racing. The next Schmidt, Schayer or Hurlbacher will likely come from SM Juniors, and the next Benvenuti or Canolti could be here spectating. Benvenuti, Taraneo and Kovalyov on row 1 for this one, then Canolti, Lapadula and Bereski on row 2 of the grid. Bang, Piemonte and Maharina on row 3. Erzik starting from the back of the field, 10 set to take the start. Race 2 started with a bang as Kovalyov and Taraneo both got a great start. Kovalyov had the inside at turn 1 and led, while Taraneo drifted wide, swallowed by the pack, and then collided with Benvenuti into turn 2. As you see, the Swiss rider went down, and Bereski was also held up in the fray. Kovalyov led the way through the Sky section, but by the end of lap 1, it was the 99 of Daniele Canolti at the front. The top 3 had firmly broken away thanks to all of the dramas behind, and for Canolti, a win with Benvenuti in third would be enough for the 99 to be number 1 in Buja. But could Kovalyov hold on to second place aboard his Husqvarna? That was going to be the critical question for Canolti out front on the gas. As the race approached the half-distance marker at the final corner, Benvenuti dove to the inside, but the space just wasn't there, and Kovalyov headed onto the straight, still in second position, into the first corner. However, soon Benvenuti was through, and immediately he was on the back wheel of his countryman, Canolti. The KTM rider was threatening a move, trying to find a way by, and just 2 laps after moving up to second, he would lead the way once again. Couldn't get it done at the final corner, but by the Sky section, he was in the lead. Just 2 laps after moving up to second, he would lead the way once again. Normality restored for the reigning champ, who would take the win, completing a perfect weekend in Piemonte for he and the MTR team. Canolti and Kovalyov rounded out the podium. Bereski recovered well from the lap 1 hold-up to finishing 4th place, ahead of German Lorenz Bang. With that, Benvenuti wins the Grand Prix ahead of Canolti and Kovalyov. Bereski does enough for 4th, and Taraneo has to settle for 5th after his dramas. Celebrations then, and Kovalyov for his team, for his Husqvarna manufacturer, with a solid third position. Daniele Cornolti taking a well-deserved second place, had some really good runs across the two races, but on this occasion at least, the defending champ Andrea Benvenuti just didn't look beatable on the MTR KTM. Didn't lead every lap, but he led the ones that counted. Diego Bressi, the sports counsellor for Busca, presenting the trophy. Alberto De Luca giving Metzler tyres to some of our podium finishers, in fact all of our podium finishers. Gianluca Avenoso giving the red plate to the current championship leader, the 263 rider Andrea Benvenuti.
100 punti per lui, 4 manche per 25 in conteggio facile.
Today I win, I'm so happy, but race 2 is so difficult and hard because it's so hot, but I am so happy. Thank you for the sponsor, thank you for Franco, Anna and the team.
Certainly a warm weekend here in Italy. And look at that championship lead. 16 points now for Benvenuti over Kovalyov in second, Terraneo in third, Piemonte in fourth, fairly anonymous this weekend, and Bereski rounding out the championship top 5 right now. Of course, the season only just beginning for the SM Juniors. Their next stop is a trip to Poland along with S1 GP. We look forward to seeing what the juniors do there.